it's all yours.
Hey, Kevin, thank you. The Chicago Bulls revamped their front office. Along with that comes a new coaching staff. Expect an emphasis on passing, pace, and versatile players. The Bulls have talented young players, and as they develop that team IQ, they hope that this team will finally turn the corner. Kevin?
Yeah, thank you. And let's take a look at the last handful of seasons and the steal numbers for Paul George.
And when you see the tumble his steal totals have taken the last few years, you can see that he's gotten away from playing the kind of steady, hard-nosed D he was known for. That's an aspect of his game he needs to get back.
And the Clippers starting five. Here we go. The stars of this team on the wing, George and Leonard. Kyle Kuzma is out there with the bucket, and it's Grant in at the one. And for Chicago, the wing pairing, it's Levine and Porter. Markin and Carter man the post ups, and it's White in at the point. Carter against Ibaka, just by the shoot. Carter, that's good. Greg, you were up here, ball hawk in your playing days, and I know you see similar players playing today.
No doubt about that, Cat. Ben Simmons, a player at 6'10", with those hands, he's incredible to watch on that. How about Fred VanVleet, though? He's a guy, they say he's 6'1", I don't know, but he gets into you and competes, man, and that's the beauty of our game. You can be as big as the trees and have a major impact, or you can be one of those little fellas, as they like to call us, and be equally as effective on the court.
The Chris Pauls, the Patrick Beverleys, there are a lot of those guys that play the ball like he did so well. Yeah, right. Great players. From T, George claims the three-pointer.
You need guys who can stretch the floor or the offense doesn't close. Paul George is one of the best at it.
Carter, the pass to Markin. Carter on the three. And so Ibaka will bring it up for the Clippers. George against White, and Zach Levine gets the whistle that time. That's his first foul. First quarter of play with about a minute and a half gone. Leonard no luck.
Missing that one jumps out all the analytical guys from the mid-range.
It's White on the wing. And again, Chicago. No good. For Los Angeles, they've gone 1 of 3 for the field to start this one so far. Here's Graham. Now in the scoring column with that bucket. 1 for 2 this game.
A little artistry in the painted area, converting against the size.
Proving once again that when you attack with confidence, good things tend to happen.
Oh, the clock shot drips him out of the air. In the corner, George with it. The basket is good off the assist from Graham. George has got a couple of threes now in the first for the Clippers. Bulls trail by 6. Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, a cold stretch offensively, for sure.
In our third month into the season, things becoming a little more clear in the power rankings. You look at the Hawks, they're gaining on some of the teams above them, trying hard to crack into that top 5.
And when I look at the Clippers, they were billed as a team to watch. And they've had some great wins this year. And they have a real chance to continue moving up that list.
Feeds the court. 2 on the run. Unable to get that one. So Los Angeles will take it the other way. Coming off that win against Minnesota.
And sometimes it's a lot harder to get easy looks on the road. But they found ways to get their guys good looks.
You know what it is? That's good advanced scouting. They knew what they were in for, and they were ready.
And try. And it's Graham missing. And here's White. He'll bring it up for the Chicago Bulls. They trail by 3. They defeated Charlotte in their last game.
And really complete control of that game. If you recall, they made sure they didn't have to sweat that lag down the stretch.
They did a phenomenal job putting that game out of reach. They really know how to put teams away.
Avago with the screen on White. Graham dishes to Jordan. Clippers moving the ball around. Shot clock at 5. Kuzma. A shot off that time. Excellent D there from Markkinen. And the former Utah youth, Kyle Kuzma, can play either forward spot. Has a good blend of steppers, bounce, and speed.
Yes, Kevin, but right now I prefer him at the 4. The reason why, he can stretch the floor, but he can attack a lot of those big forwards. And his shooting, it will be consistent as the years go on.
Corner against Leonard.
And you love that about Kawhi. After he makes a shot, he gives you the poker face. Just goes about his business.
Here's Levine. 23 points for him the last game against Charlotte. White against Graham. White the pass to Markkinen. 4 on the clock. And they force the shot clock violation. Great team. So Chicago going with an almost entirely new group. Daniel Gafford's checked in for Wendell Carter. Williams comes in for Markkinen. Chandler Hutchison, he's checked in for Otto Porter Jr. And it's Denzel Valentine in for Zach LaVine. Going inside. And foul on the shot. So he'll get a chance at the line. Great too early to start talking about MVP for this year. Great season.
You know, we got to the point now where we start talking and we keep starting to see. Right? We just love to talk sports. Individual awards out there. I think you can make the case and sway some opinions to play this time of year. I don't feel like it all play out before I start focusing on it.
There's no change in a hurry at the end of the season. Because this is going to play out. And then, that was Christmas. The team of Williams.
What a defensive play. Picked his stop and left it without foul.
It's tipped. That's the White. It's all in on George.
In all periods, he's been a struggle for him throwing the ball.
And the Clippers miss again. And the foul call will go on in. That is his first foul of the game. Here's Chicago. They're on the line with 3 down. Passes it to White. Here's Gafford. And it's blocked by the Bucks.
Great defense by Serge. A tremendous athlete. Blessed with insane length and leaping ability.
And he's executing a really nice stroke.
We've got 140 left to play in the first. And pass to White. Here's Gafford. Blocked by the Bucks. Gafford for Valentine. That's not no good. And the Clippers will go the other way with it. This is their first chance to take it. the switch here. And it's the ball with the ball. Trailing by 2. Gets it to Valentine. And it's the screen. And it's out of bounds. The Samuels last touchdown. And the coach's challenge has triggered it. That's one to review the out of bounds violation.
And this is the exact type of play that I think is perfect for a review. Coach's challenge or not. I mean, you seldom get into a situation where it's hard to definitively determine the out of bounds call.
And defending at 1 point in the game it is. Breaking that threat of the jet back down the game. So he's coming down. Just one possession. Possession from there. And so the additional work with the NBA and the official court side of this. And the original call was fair for the out of bounds violation.
Yeah, and some people might argue that hey, you're stopping the game, but you used up a timeout, so that's technically already what you're doing, regardless of the call. It's going to be second.
Los Angeles making a switch here. Numbers on defense. Here's Hutchinson. Defense in downtown. And the Bulls lead by 1.
We'll see if they can finally hold on to a lead. It's been back and forth all night.
Both teams putting forth their best efforts right now. This is the kind of game fans pay to see.
And that routine does not have officials on the call at the time.
Look for why. We love his talent. Just as important, we love the basketball IQ and work ethic.
Both free throws are good from Kawhi Leonard.
He's living there tonight, a tough guy to guard without bottom, and the bonus, he's going to knock it down.
And so we're leading to bring it up now with the ball. They trail by 1. And the lead throws it in.
Question protecting me coming in. Will he get strong enough? Here's your answer.
And George will deny it. Grant finds the down ball. Back to Grant. Looking to hold it. At the end of 1, and closing the TJ lead so far. In Chicago, they lead. The Great Rio is already a solid scorer. A ton of movement is there. Now having played with superstars and stars, where he puts it to the win.
He's getting only so many shots per game, so I applaud him for finding other ways to contribute to his team with an eye toward the greatest goal.
And close lead underway so far. We'll see if he can his teams can jump out in the second quarter. And a chance to miss the second and check out the scoring breakdown for the ball.
They didn't need any time to warm up from long range today. Their three-point shooting has been terrific in the first half.
Yeah, but they're showing some muscle also in the first half as well. Getting a lot of points in the paint, falling right on down situation. Parker to that point, and the post box. The wing pairing is working in court, and it's Valentine in the post. So that's the 5 in the game for Chicago. Here's the tip drop, and he makes that one. Now it's a 3-point Los Angeles lead.
I love his shot selection today. He set the bar for the rest of the team.
Chicago's gotten fewer than half of their 3 pointers to go down tonight. They're 4 for 9. Valentine passes to Buchanan. And a wide open look for Porter. His 3-pointers off the mark.
You know what, though? Sometimes you can be too open. I think it may have surprised him, and that's why he missed. And really, throughout his entire career, Otto Porter has been a solid shooter from distance. Great option to play in the corner and really open up a defense.
Yes, Otto Porter shoots around 40% from his career, Jimmy, beyond the arc. What I love about him, he has a quick release that he can get off without much room. Also, Porter keeps defenders honest with his ability to put the ball on the floor. Excellent concentration from Paul George, overwhelming the aggressive defense with his strength and determination.
three. On the wing, Porter. He's covered by Leonard. Leonard brings the double team. Levine for three. It's hauled in by the Clippers. Next matchup, they'll be home against the Suns. That can mark the first half of a quick two-game homestand. Porter against Leonard. On the wing, Levine. He gets it to Valentine. Here's the three. That's in. He found his way into that one. Now 1 for 2.
Beautiful find by Levine there. Takes his time to survey the floor.
Kobe White is checked in for Valentine. The Clippers also changing it up. Serge Ibaka is checked in for Bismack Biyombo. Kyle Kuzma comes in for Derek Favors. Devontae Graham subbed in for Joe Ingles. Okay, well, let's check in with David Aldridge reporting from the sideline.
Hey, Kevin, good to hear from you. Now, Zach LaVine has become a star, but he knows there's still work to be done. He said, I'm stepping into a leadership role, asking more of myself and giving more each year. You've got to look at your faults. I have to continue to improve my defense. I want to help us make the playoffs. My next step as a player is winning. Guys, back to you.
Great attitude. David, thank you.
And you see right there at a solid 250, Carter has no trouble finishing the contact.
Graham dishes to Ibaka. Graham surveying the floor. Just 5 on the clock. The basket is good. That's his 6th attempt and his 3rd make.
They are just killing him on the interior.
White with it. Provides a good amount of offense for the team, averaging around 11.5 points a game. Carter outside. He dishes it to White. Stolen by George. A pocket for 3. Rebound by the Bulls.
And you don't want to give up that kind of look too often.
Pocket in from outside. They get it back. That one's good. The Clipper lead is cut down to 1. The bucket from Carter.
Right there, Carter using his instincts and motor to track down the miss and convert into second chance points.
Bucket is good.
You just love how reliable he is. Night in and night out, his offense is there.
Al Levine. He has 5. Left side, Porter. Pocket in, gets the Porter. Clock is at 3. Happy to see that one go in for his 2nd make in 5 attempts.
This is where I like to see Porter spend more of his time, looking for his shot in the painted area.
Oh, and the jam by Leonard.
He has his fingerprints all over this first half. He is just shooting it so efficiently.
Chicago calls timeout. And as the coaches go to the clipboard to outline their strategy during the timeout, the players getting a chance to rehydrate with some Gatorade. That's key to staying fresh all the way to the final whistle.
And Kevin, it really is. And every one of these players knows it. They're all making sure to stay hydrated. It's impossible to play your A game if you're not getting enough to drink, especially towards the end of games when the physical toll of a long contest really starts to add up.
Catching up on the changes for Chicago. Daniel Gafford's checked in for Wendell Carter. Williams comes in for Lauri Markkanen. And it's Chandler Hutchison in for Porter. White against Graham. Kuzma outside. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. And bring in play with some big personalities. Talk about the best way to manage egos and conflicts in the locker room. That's a very interesting topic.
No doubt about it. You know, the first thing we learn from middle school on, your team is your family. And let's face it, all families have spats, and so do teams. You just learn to never personalize those things. Never leave any stone unturned. Like, don't let things fester When there are issues, you address them. And if you're not taking things personally, you tend to be able to work through whatever issues you may come in front of.
Good advice. Here's Hutchison. Run by Robinson. Here's the try. Now the 5 on the shot clock. Clippers lead by 4. Here's Kuzma. Back in off the glass.
A much better quarter for them shooting the ball.
And here's Levine. He has 5.
We have full court, man-to-man defense here.
Big pointer. And again, no good by Chicago. And Zorobaka will bring it up for the Clippers. They lead by 6, their biggest margin. Kuzma can't get it to go. Chicago has gone 1 of 6 from 3-point land in the second quarter, less than 20%. But they've continued to let them fly.
Clearly a foul.
All right, we'll take a look now at how the points have been generated so far. A scoring breakdown for the Clippers.
Guys, their willingness to attack the basket so far has been great. They have penetrated, finding the holes in the defense, and scoring from close range.
And also, they've gotten the three-pointer to fall tonight as well. That's equally as important.
Now here's Graham. He's got 8. Pass to Kuzma. Back to Graham. Jacks up a 3. It's good from long range. Graham's got the lead up to 8 now for the Clippers.
Great dime from Kuzma there, assessing the situation and making the right play.
To the inside. Graham. And the dunk by Graham.
Excellent on both ends of that play.
Yeah, the steal was sharp, but the slam topped it off.
Turning defense into offense. Every coach talks about it. Perfect example right there.
White against Reddick. Los Angeles leading by 10. Here's Ibaka. And he gets the whistle for the 3-second call. And the score quickly changing. Valentine's checked in. Joe Ingles is checked in for the Clippers. Left in the first half of the game. The Bulls have gone top of 12 from the field here in the second. It's White on the wing. The train brings it to beyond the arc. White's got his second basket of the night.
Kobe White doesn't need much time or space to get off that catch and shoot.
Let's do that. 41 seconds left to play here in the half. Ingles can't get it to go. Bulls trail on the 7. To the left side wing. Back to White. Nobody near Williams. And the Bulls, another 3.
Defensively, you have to tighten up on him or suffer the consequences.
Now here's Kuzma. Defense right on him. White against Green. Here's White. It's a teardrop, and the layup is good. And now just a 2-point Clipper lead.
Kobe White with the impressive ball handling skills lets him drive it right in there.
Kawhi Leonard has been on display for the LA Clippers. He finishes with 9 points in the quarter. The D is having all sorts of problems with him. And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Thanks, Kevin. Exactly. Hard-fought first half. What changes have to be made to get a little separation?
That may be tough shot to try to signal our confidence, so we got to come back, make plays, make shots, and we have to set those. All right, Dave, thank you. And time now for the halftime break. In the third quarter, should be follow. It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show. Hey, folks, welcome back. Freddie Johnson alongside the Jets. Kawhi Leonard is having one of those nights. He had 16 points, 2 rebounds, and 1 assist. And that's going to do it second-half action for you. Thus far, a pretty evenly contested game. Kawhi Leonard really has his fingerprints all over this one.
Well, we'll find out if they were able to find an answer for him over the break. He was scoring with ease in that first half.
I think both sides probably adjusted a few things. The key for him is to bring the same level of energy over these last two quarters.
So for the Clippers right now, wing pairing for him is George and Leonard. Rocket is out there with Kyle Kuzma, and it's brilliant into the one. And Leonard gets it to go.
Talented, opportunistic. When Leonard gets hot, it can last for long stretches.
And here are the Bulls now. It's a 5-point game. They'll be off to Oklahoma City for a meeting with the Thunder after this one. Sets in motion a 4-game road trip for him. Leonard brings the double team. And from outside, Kuzma pulls it in.
And even with good coverage defensively that time, he has confidence to drill the three.
George finds Kuzma. On the wing, George. Running by Porter. And George with the stop.
And with those long strides, it takes Paul George no time to get to the rim.
Second half of basketball, just over that played so far. Now Chicago has gone outside the last time. 17 times in fact. 7-17. Here's Carter. No good on that one. Some solid defense from Ibaka. Clippers leading by 7.
The homecoming for Paul George. Playing in LA with the Clippers. They gave up a key ransom to OKC. 5 first-round picks and Danilo Gallinari and Shea Gilgeous-Alexander.
It's tipped. Oh, and a fast break for the Bulls. And so Ibaka, he'll bring it up for the Los Angeles Clippers. They haven't given up any points here in the second half. Graham with the ball. 13 points in the game. 6 on the shot clock. Shoots over White. And it's Graham missing.
And guys, the Clippers were willing to give almost anything for PG because they basically got Kawhi Leonard in the deal as well.
And let's remember, G.A., he could have been a Lakers. They would have had to trade away the second pick in the 2017 draft. That Atlanta needed. Their loss became the Clippers game.
I'm not sure who was supposed to be up on that possession.
He's clear. Baltimore on the offensive end, averaging about 12.5 points a game. Now let's move on. And that's a foul. All by Robert Marketing. That's his first foul. So, for the Clippers, Derek Favors checked in for Kyle Kuzma. He's the defensive break. How about that? Only one block reads his throw. Amazing defensive work.
And determined to add to the lead. Not more offense, but with big time heat.
Locked in throw. Well, listen to that now. And George gets to the line. Beyond the arc. Carter pulls it away. Carter's got his fingers on this one.
Rebound battles even thus far.
Outside looking. Corner on the Los Angeles leading by 5. Corner on one shot. Running by Porter. Now three for George. Porter. Porter's got the back for the ball. And the reckoning. So the three. Favors the rebound.
And close to being Eagles in the last couple of seconds.
Valentine's checked in for Chicago. The Clippers making a change here as well. Now one checked in for Chicago. Bulls trail by 5. Our next matchup with our so-called reporter, David Edwards.
Kevin, the 12 Bulls have a new front office. Mentioned how they met great trust and teaching customers. Their success in identifying and developing In some recent time year after year, there is some optimism that the Bulls will be able to build a similar and sustainable youth program. Guys,
Looking back to this one. Thank you, David. And the call on the shot to set up the line. And look at that. What was a stellar career for him. There's one thing that different. You have anything on your mind?
You know, I would have loved to have the opportunity to finish my career in New York. That is special place, that special time. Unfortunately, that didn't transpire. But that's the one thing that stands out. That and obviously now winning the championship.
Tested shot, block shot. That's been their bread and butter defense. Giving up no easy looks.
They made that offensive consistent play without really forcing the issue on me. Come on, try to compete on that direction.
Chicago making a switch here. Hutchinson's checked in. Throw good. Looking.
Yeah, we all have come alive in the last few seasons. For example, he set a Bulls record for 8 threes in a season last year.
And Greg, that remains the biggest alert and his shot was just fantastic. You don't trust his shot at this point, but Theo is a strength guy. He's more willing to look for jumpers and big possession shots.
He hits. It's good. And the Lakers lead by 4.
Big time scoring move. When Ingram surprises people with the drive, it creates opportunities to set up other guys in the future.
And here's Levine. He's got 8. Pulls away. And jump balls taken from him. Knocks it loose. And we're on the ball now. The pass to Hutchison. He caught it. No good that time. So Los Angeles took it the other way. They won by as much as 10. Taylor sets the pick for rebound. Good on the 3-point shot.
A steady hand of Eagles. In pick and roll action, just like he plays.
Wilson with another second. Here's Gafford. And Brooklyn.
I tell you what, I think he thought that was going in, and I sure did.
Now here's Joe. He gives it to Park. Shoots the 3. And another 3 for the Clippers.
And others now have a they're starting to extend this lead. They're doing it by building it out step by step, value each possession.
Here's Gafford. Doesn't find the end goal. Good by Gafford. Gafford's got his first basket of the night right there.
That's
Chicago has gotten off to a very slow start. Recently, here's Hutchison. Looking against Bernard. Here's Gafford. The elbow. 35 seconds left in the third quarter. Robinson passes to Kennard. Gets the three-pointer to fall.
Yeah, D with very little pressure on their perimeter shooters. 3 of the last 5 baskets they've allowed have been from beyond.
The 3. Rebound by the Bulls. Valentine's got 4 rebounds now tonight. Kennard against Levine to the left wing. Here's Hutchison. Fires the 3. Here's Gafford. From down in the low post, he goes. Gafford's got 8 points.
That's just staying in the moment, keeping with the current possession.
Kennard with the ball.
He got it to go, and he beats the buzzer.
That's a miracle.
Are you kidding me? I didn't think that shot had any chance of going in. Just shows you that anything can happen in this game.
And so it's the Los Angeles Clippers with a 14-point lead as we bring the quarter to a close. Their defense has been terrific in this game. Then, right after this. And let's go back to a terrific pass that we're calling tonight on State Farm Assist of the Game.
And I'm glad this was the safety because I love this pass. Such a great dish. That's what I call court vision.
Yeah, you also have the location of the pass. Puts it right where it needs to be, where his man can do something with it.
And there have been two very different performances from these teams today. We get going in quarter number 4. The guard set is White alongside Levine. At the forward spots, it's Porter next to Markkinen. And it's Carter at the center, locking down the middle. So that's the 5 in the game for Chicago. And White gets to Carter. It's Porter outside. The Clippers grab the miss. Favors has got his 4th rebound in this one. Leonard attacking, uses the glass to finish the layup. Leonard's got 21.
A piece on the dribble drive. You see Kawhi right there, undeterred by contact.
Bulls trail by 16, and the foul called on Kawhi Leonard. That'll be his 2nd foul of the game for the Clippers. Baca comes in for Derek Favors, and Devontae Graham subbed in for Joe Ingles. Levine double team. It's Porter outside. The 3-pointers right on target.
When you talk about the best 3-and-D guys in the league, Porter's a climber on that list.
Just over a minute play here in the 4th. Graham, and finished off by Graham.
Never a bad idea to run the old pick play.
You're right. And if it produces a slam like that, we'll probably see more of them.
Especially if the defense is going to allow you to do it. Have to switch on that play.
Levine dishes to Carter. Kick out to Levine. From the arc. The Clippers grab the miss.
He's doing what he can to help them cut into this lead. His shot just isn't quite there tonight.
And so it's Porter bringing it up now for the Bulls. Down by 15. Markkinen can't get it to go. Clippers have gone 2 of 4 from the field since we started the final quarter of play. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. And this is what the schedule looks like for the Clippers. On Saturday, they'll go up against Devin Booker and the Phoenix Suns. Then on Monday, they'll be taking on Victor Oladipo and the Houston Rockets.
And looking at this stretch, I think they should have no problem dispatching most of their opponents if they can avoid that pitfall of playing down to the level of the competition. But that's easier said than done.
Catching up on the changes for Los Angeles, Kyle Kuzma comes in for Bianca, and Georgia subbed in for J.J. Redick. Clippers lead by 16. Here's Leonard, and the layup's good off the glass. Leonard's got 4 points in the quarter.
Aggressive D there, but then again, Kawhi finishes through contact almost as well as anyone.
Chicago's gotten just 1 of 4 3-pointers to go down for them here in the 4th. Time called here, the Bulls decide to talk it over. Steve Kerr talked about how Michael Jordan scared his teammates into becoming better players. Would that kind of approach, you think, work today with players entering the league?
Well, I think you have to be careful, yes. But I think on a general, if you're looking at just a blank sheet of paper on how to get guys motivated, I think it takes leaders, which starts with ownership, management, coach, and best players. If they work hard and they see the blueprint that way, they usually follow it.
It's about to pick him up. And that's a foul called on Lauri Markkinen. That'll be his 2nd foul of the game.
And really just a great play to sacrifice his body and take the charge.
Just a little under 2.5 minutes have passed now here in the 4th. George passes to Graham. Shoots over White. Again, the Clippers.
And that set them apart today, guys. Their success with the mid-range.
Bulls trail by 20. Here's White. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line. Serge Ibaka picks one up there.
Nation's inside play from Kobe. Gets the shot off and a trip to the line.
Right after we saw top prospects like LaMelo Ball and R.J. Hampton playing a year in Australia, the NBA G League sweetened the deal to attract those blue chippers to this G League, which I think is a very interesting topic and a very interesting way to go.
It is. You know, I think the salaries now can exceed $500,000, not to mention the endorsement deal, and they're on a single team that's built around their.
Oh, that was amazing. And look at the elevation. Insane move by Paul George, a high player who can create in midair.
For Chicago, they've gone 1 of 5 from the field here in the fourth. A lot of misses, just the one made. On the way, Levine. He's covered by Leonard. And that one's stripped by Porter.
He found the perfect spot behind the arc there. Big gap in the D.
Here's George, and George with the stuff.
It's one of those nights where George's number has been called time after time.
Al Levine. It's tipped. And pushing it out. Here's Los Angeles. And here's George for 3. Porter against Kuzma. He with the rebound.
Not his best game, but they're still getting it done collectively.
On the wing, Porter. That's good. And it's Levine with the assist. Levine's got his 4th assist in this one. Oh, Kuzma's in position. It doesn't go for one.
He really can't buy a bucket, but his teammates at his back.
Carter up top. Outside, marking it. Greg, you played against some terrific players, including the late, great Kobe Bryant. I'd love to hear your thoughts on playing against Kobe.
I mean, his passing is still tough. I'm sure for many to deal with because he was just taken from us at such a young age. But this guy was a ferocious competitor and someone who showed us in life and in tragedy that we need to make the most of every moment that we have here. You know, I just appreciated really the fans getting to know Kobe once his career was over. Because I think he was able to let his guard down a little bit and show us a lighter side, a more compassionate side.
That is an excellent point. And it's Graham missing.
One made 3 for the game because he focused closer in. Let's see.
That's the point. The baseline jumper goes down. Porter's got 11 here in this quarter alone.
And this team's struggles are not his fault. He's putting in work at the offensive end.
And here's Markkinen. Now here's White. Here's Carter. Kick out to Levine. Fires from deep. It's hauled in by Paul George. George has got 6 rebounds in the game. Here's Leonard. He's for the hoop.
Give him any kind of opening, and Kawhi Leonard will make you pay at the rack.
Chicago calls timeout. They're behind by 21. 1:57 left here in the fourth quarter. And now a moment to present the New Balance Player of the Game, Kawhi Leonard.
And what an amazing ball game we've seen from him. It's been a one-man show worth the price of admission all by itself. There wasn't anything he couldn't do on that court tonight.
And as the star of this team, he knows he's going to be the object of the crowd's anger. And Temple kicks to Felicio. Passes it to center on speed. Good ball movement here by the Bulls. To the middle. Last year, LeBron, as we know, Steve, broke Derek Fisher's record for most postseason wins. Talk about the weight of that accomplishment.
You know, Kevin, let's take those 2 players. Start off with Derek Fisher. Give him a lot of credit. As a role player, he was on some great teams and contributed. Unbelievable to have that record. And then on the flip side, LeBron James was on some great teams, and he was the reason they were great teams because he's one of the greatest players of all time. Two different type of players, but both are very impressive.
And one team is just completely outclassing the other tonight. Spirited performance, and it really ignited what is turning out to be a monster win here for the Clippers.
Fewer miscues, Anthony.
I mean, a great all-around effort. Not only did they minimize their turnovers, but kept the pressure up on D, forcing the other team to commit turnovers.
And so looking at their number, this will be win number 22 on the year.
And so they'll take the first game of the season series, a team they'll only see twice. They're certainly happy to start it off with a win.
And you know, when you look at the huge impact he had, just a monster game for Kawhi Leonard.
High-level shot making, what we got a chance to witness. He responded to good defense with better offense time and time again.
The shot by Satoransky, no good. And here's George. He'll bring it up for Los Angeles. The biggest lead of the game was 24 points.
Yeah, they've sucked the energy out of this arena. Tremendous effort on the road.
And when you're on the road, you can't be tentative coming into a game like this. I thought their aggressive approach was the difference.
Satoransky looking around. Thomas Satoransky gets the whistle that time. That is his first foul of the game.
Yeah, way to get there first and be willing to absorb the contact.
Bring him against Satoransky. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line.